What kind of head coach do you think Alex will be, and why?
What type of head coach?
Yeah.
A great head coach. I mean, he's a great person. He has a great personality. He has experience with the football game. He knows how to coach. He knows how to get you better. He knows how to get you going as well. There's some coaches that can't get you going, but he can get you going. He can get you juiced up. And I mean, he's smart. He understands what his offense wants. He understands the playmakers you have at hand, and he's going to put you in the best ability to make a play.
Joe, Jake Daniels said you guys bonded and roomed together, rode together at Manning Capacity Academy. Talk about that.
Oh, it was great. You know, our first conversation was talking about the LSU game. We played against them. And we both were just talking about how crazy it was, you know, the experience level of the fans, you know, just the camaraderie about it, just the whole process of the game, you know. But it was great, you know. You get to pick a guy's few brains, and I got to pick his brain a little bit, talk about coverages, talk about different type of footwork, talk about things we both can work on. As you know, as you see it from a different quarterback, what can you work on? And you know, it was great.
Joe, do you know how many interceptions you've thrown as Tennessee's quarterback?
0.
You proud of that?
I mean, any quarterback should be proud of that. Personally, I feel like, you know, you take care of the ball, and you know, make things happen that way. I feel like your offense can be successful that way.
Does it say something about your decision making?
No, it does just say something about my coaches. They put me in the right situation at the right time.
Joe, take us.
Said something about he likes his quarterbacks to be good decision makers. Some teams are just about scheming, not necessarily.
Right.
When you hear something like that about your offense and what you guys have to do, what do you think about the decisions that you guys have to make in sports?
I mean, that's something we preach every day in the quarterback room. Coach Hodge just said, he preaches it a lot. You know, don't judge the outcome, just decision making. You know, have a reason for what you're doing. So, you know, whatever it takes in our offense, if you have a play to the right or a play to the left, you know, have a reason for going either way you choose, right? But, you know, go through your read of the week, you know, take care of it. Take care of it how you would take care of it if you had a family, right? So just approach it the same way and, you know, attack that play, go hard 100% the whole time, because if you're wrong, you know, be 100% wrong, right? But attack it at the same speed you would if you was right.
What's the biggest misconception about this offense from like an outside perspective?
Some people say it's not getting you ready for the NFL, but it is, because you have the coaches that, you know, that either went or either coached in the NFL, right? So they have the terminology for you, they have the knowledge for you that you can possibly need for the NFL.
Joe, your teammates are talking about kind of the transition the program made as a whole, year 1 to year 2, from hoping to win to expecting to win. I know you kind of had a little bit of a back seat to that, but just watching that growth, you know, what's kind of your takeaway?
I wouldn't say a back seat. I was a passenger.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the passenger of that. I wouldn't say back seat. But, I mean, it changed a lot. You know, the culture that we have in the building, the way that we carry ourselves throughout, you know, we make sure that we're taking care of our responsibilities, because if we don't, then it's going to translate. So Coach Hype preaches every small thing translate, every little detail matters. So if that's you missing breakfast or you missing lunch, that's mandatory, right? How's that going to translate when you want to play that actually counts? So the way that we carry ourselves, it just translates over.
Now that you're going to be the driver, then
Yeah.
now you no passenger, now you're going to be the driver. How do you kind of, what is your role in that, expecting to win?
Keep the same mindset, but attack it harder. You know, last year was good, right? But you want to be great, so attack it harder. You know, we was the number 1 offense last year, so it was things that we did to be number 1. So we have to do the same things, but even more.
Joe, I'm curious what the message from Coach Heupel was when, you know, they made the decision to go with Hendon, and how you went about, you know, responding to that correctly.
I had no say. I was hurt. I mean, that was meant to happen. I mean, I was hurt. I couldn't go back in the game no more. So Hendon did his job. He went in there, he executed, and he kept the offense rolling. And, you know, I mean, what can I say if the coaches chose to do that? I mean, he did his job. He did what any other quarterback would possibly do in that situation. I mean, you want to win, so go win. That was your opportunity, and he showed up. He showed out.
Joe, you said you were a history major. Heupel spoke on the podium about how his players don't know a whole lot about his playing career. So I'm curious what you know the history of Heupel's playing career.
My history of Coach Heupel, I know he played in the Orange Bowl against my cousin, actually. He played in the Orange Bowl against my cousin in Corn Bowden, so it's possible. I know he won a national championship. I knew the excitement of his face. I just recently seen a picture of that, so feel like, what else did he do? I know he did not start off at Oklahoma. He came from a JUCO, then went to Oklahoma. Then he was successful there. Huh?
You know where it's from?
What, JUCO?
No. Like, what state he's from?
Oh, yeah. What was it?
South Dakota.
That's what it was, South Dakota. I knew it was somewhere north. I knew it was cold because he always talk about that every time it get cold down here.
Joe, how much did growing up in the muck in Pahokee and Immokalee prepare you? Because all my guys down at GatorBaitMedia.com love you. And you went and played for Franz Beard's brother. You went to his school in Orlando, I think in 11th, 12th grade.
Yeah, I'm not too much familiar with Immokalee, but Pahokee, Florida, it adapts you to become a man. You know, it changes your whole life perspective. There's some things you can't get in cities like this, right? Because Pahokee's not a city, it's a town. It's not too many people there. Everybody know everybody. There's only like 3 stores. You got a Family Dollars, you got a Dollar General, and you got a gas station. And you got another gas station that called Bite Me, but it's just basically sell pizza, right? So, you know, you go through those things in life and you grow up, right? And you see those things every day. It just motivates you to just want more. So that's what helps.
Joe, how much physically, knowledge of the game, all this, how much different are you from where you were when you got to Tennessee? Like, and I know it's maybe hard to say that because it's been a couple of years, but how different are you?
Different in what I know and what I see. I feel like the knowledge that I learned at Michigan was helpful, but the knowledge that I know now and from my coaches, Coach Hosley, Coach Hype, Coach Mitch, Phillip, you know, those guys, they train me so well to understand the offense, but understand the offense in general. It can be any offense, right? Smooth as fast. That's one thing that Mitch speaks, Coach Mitch talks about, just smooth as fast, right? So mentally, I'm more advanced than I normally would be if anybody else was in this position. I know more than I possibly need to at this moment, but I feel like it'll help my game.
Joe, how does any quarterback, and you in specific, how do you work on accuracy during the offseason? Is it just kind of linking up with the receivers and working in the field? Are there other things you can go that kind of factors into that?
Accuracy is based on how well do you know your receivers, like you said, right? When I first got here, I didn't know those guys, right? And I was going through a little bit of struggles. But as I got to know those guys, by being the backup, I got to understand those guys and what they wanted to do with the offense and the routes. They got to understand what type of person I was and what I was looking for when I was on the field. So just being able to have that fun with those guys is great.
What's the biggest thing Josh Heupel has taught you?
Last question.
2+ years with him?
Say that one more time.
What's the biggest thing you've learned from Josh Heupel in 2+ years of playing?
Being able to flush things. I was a person that dwelled on the last play. So say for instance I had a bad play before and I'm trying to call the next play. How can I process the next play if I'm thinking about the last one? So being able to flush things, being able to move on, because you never know when the next play is going to be good. So being able to move on from that and being able to just clear things out and never let nobody see you sweat. So.
Thanks, Joe.